Welcome back, everyone. World Baseball news for the week of August 1st. Another thrilling week gone by with the AllStar Series in both Japan and Taiwan, a new first-place team in Japan, playoffs in Europe, and the regular season coming to an end this week in Mexico. First up, though, more names keep pouring in for the World Baseball Classic. St. Louis Cardinals third baseman Nolan Arenado is the latest star to commit to play for Team USA. Arenado is a 7-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove winner, 4-time Silver Slugger, and has 3 times led the league in home runs. This year, at age 31, he's still getting the job done, with an .890 OPS and 19 home runs. He was a member of the 2017 U.S. team that won gold at the WBC. Earlier last week, 29-year-old Red Sox second baseman Trevor Story also committed to the USA team. Story is a 2-time All-Star and 2-time Silver Slugger. Having a bit of a down year, but he's still got 15 home runs and is a perfect 10 for 10 in stolen bases. Story and Arenado joined Mike Trout, who committed to the team the week before. So far, the American team is putting together quite a roster. Marcus Stroman, who took home the 2017 WBC MVP after throwing 6 shutout innings for Team USA against Puerto Rico in the championship game, will be back as well. Only this time he'll be on the other side. He said that he will play for Puerto Rico in the 2023 Classic. He was born in the U.S. to a Puerto Rican mother, so he can choose either one. Stroman presently has a .399 ERA and 13 starts for the Chicago Cubs. Not a dominant pitcher, but a good one, and already a proven winner in the WBC. And the Dominican Republic now has a manager. 1 week after active MLB player Nelson Cruz was named as GM for the Dominican team, he chose Rodney Linares to manage the team. Linares has been a member of the Tampa Bay Rays coaching staff since 2019, the team Cruz landed with last year. At 44 years old, Linares is just 2 years older than Cruz. Over to Japan, where the week started with the NPB AllStar Series. Game 1 on Tuesday at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka. Tomohisa Ozeki from the hometown Hawks took the mound for Pacific League, while NPB ERA leader Koyo Aoyagi of the Hanshin Tigers started for Central League. Central League took the early lead on an RBI single from Koji Chikamoto and a solo homer from Dayan Viciedo, but Pacific League fought back with a solo home run from Hotaka Yamakawa and later an RBI single from Yuma Mune. It was tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the ninth when 23-year-old Kotaro Kiyomiya of the Fighters hit the walk-off home run to win it for Pacific League 3-2. It was only the 7th walk-off homer in All-Star Game history. Game 2 on Wednesday at Bochan Stadium in Matsuyama, not home to any NPB team. Cart pitcher Hiroki Tokoda got the start for Central League. Roki Sasaki took the mound for Pacific League. Central League struck first again on a first-inning bases-loaded sac fly from Teruaki Sato. Pacific League evened it up an inning later on an RBI single from 18-year-old Marines catcher Ko Matsukawa, as he became the youngest player ever to record an RBI in an All-Star game. Only one more run would be scored. That came in the 6th on a solo home run from Hawks slugger Yuki Yanagita. Pacific League won it again, 2-1. So Pacific League won both games by 1 run. Pitchers dominated as only 8 runs total were scored in the 2 games combined. 5 of those 8 runs were scored in the first 2 innings off the starting pitchers. No walks allowed in either game by either team. On the weekend, most teams returned to action. All were scheduled to, but the Giants AllStar Series had to be called off as the Giants were still battling with COVID. The week before, more than 70 players and coaching staff tested positive. NPB is considering doubleheaders if this continues. Friday, a pair of shutouts in Central League. Tigers 6-0 over the Swallows, and the Dragons blanked the Carp 9-0. Some close ones in Pacific League. Fighters over Eagles 2-1, and Buffaloes 9-8 over the Marines in 12 innings. And the first-place Hawks were getting a visit from the second-place Lions. Game 1 went to the Lions 5-2 as they took over first. 7 scoreless innings from Yuki Nishi in the Tigers' win. Dragons' 19-year-old rookie pitcher Hiroto Takahashi lost a no-hitter in the 8th. He ended with 7 1/3 scoreless and 7 Ks. Run support provided by teammate Dayan Viciedo. He batted in 5 runs on 3 home runs. Yutaro Sugimoto hit 2 home runs, 3 hits, driving in 5. Saturday, same winners in Central League. Tigers over Swallows 7-3. Dragons blanked the Carp again 3-0. Eagles got even 7-0 over the Fighters. Buffaloes 6-4 over the Marines. And the Lions shut out the Hawks 6-0. The Dragons got 7 shutout innings and 6 Ks from starting pitcher Shinosuke Ogasawara. For the Lions, Kaito Yoza went all 9 innings for the complete game shutout, the first complete game of his NPB career, improving his record to 8-3. And Masahiro Tanaka struck out 7 through 7 scoreless innings to get the win for the Eagles. Sunday, Swallows avoided a sweep with a 4-2 win over the Tigers. Dragons held on to beat the Carp 6-5 for the sweep. It was the first time in 10 years the Dragons swept the Carp in Hiroshima. Eagles beat the Fighters 10-5 to take that series. Buffaloes earned a sweep with a 5-2 win over the Marines, and the Lions sweep was denied as they fell to the Hawks 4-2. Munetaka Murakami batted in all 4 Swallows runs on 3 home runs, including the go-ahead 2-run shot in the 11th. Central League standings, Swallows still have a big 10-game lead, still have the best record in NPB despite going 7-20 in July, the league's second worst record for the month. Tigers were NPB's worst team in the first month of the season, but now find themselves in second place. Carp and Baystars are 2 games behind the Tigers. Tyler Austin returns for the Baystars this week to help with their postseason push. Giants started July as the second-place team but went 5-17, the worst July record in NPB, and are now in 5th. Dragons are trying to get out of the cellar and into the postseason race. Their sweep over the Carp last weekend brought them to within 2 games of the Giants and 3 games out of the final postseason spot. The Cebu Lions, who finished last a year ago, are the new number 1 in Pacific League, but there is no room to get comfortable. Hawks are a half game behind. Buffalo's 1 game out. Buffalo's had the league's best record in July at 15-9. Eagles are 1.5 out. Marines 3.5. Only the Fighters are far behind. This week in NPB, Tuesday to Thursday, Giants are scheduled to return to action, welcoming the Tigers. Dragons at Swallows, Carp at Baystars, the 2 teams tied for 3rd right now. Hawks visiting the Fighters at Asahikawa, Marines at Eagles, and Buffaloes at Lions. Buffaloes have a chance to overtake the Lions with a sweep. On the weekend, Giants at Swallows, Baystars at Dragons, Tigers at Carp, Marines at Lions, Fighters at Buffaloes, and Eagles at Hawks. In Korea, teams will start hitting the 100-game mark this week, and last week there were a few series played between top 5 teams. But first, some news. The Lotte Giants have let go of Glenn Sparkman. Not a big surprise. In 19 starts, he had an ERA of 5.31. No replacement has been named yet. The Giants are still hoping to make a late postseason push, but they've been going in the opposite direction lately. Now to last week's results. Tuesday, Eagles over Lions 4-2. Third-place Twins shut out the first-place Landers 9-0. Bears over Giants 6-1. Dinos breezed past the Tigers 9-1. And the second-place Heroes won a back-and-forth battle over the fourth-place Wiz 8-7. The day's top hitter and pitcher came from the Twins. Shortstop Ji-Hwan Oh homered twice to drive in 3, and Adam Plutko tossed 7 scoreless, allowing only 1 hit. Wednesday, Lions 11-10 over the Eagles. Landers evened things up with the Twins 6-3. Bears got past the Giants 6-5. Tigers 9-5 over the Dinos, and the Wiz came back to beat the Heroes on a walk-off 2-run homer from Byung-Ho Park. Sean Morimando, who's just come over from the CPBL, made his debut with the Landers, throwing 6 scoreless with 6 Ks and only 2 hits for his first KBO win. Thursday, Eagles and Lions finished in a 3-3 tie. That series ended in a 1-1 split. Landers walked it off to beat the Twins 5-4 in the rubber match. Bears made it a 3-game sweep 8-5 over the Giants. Dinos 6-2 over the Tigers to win the series, and the Wiz claimed their series with an 8-2 win over the Heroes. Friday, all-new series, 4th-place Wiz over the 3rd-place Twins 5-4. Lions walked off to beat the slumping Giants 8-7 in 10. Bears took care of the Eagles 7-3. Tigers hammered the first-place Landers 11-2, and the Dinos got past the Heroes 5-3. Min-Ho Kong batted in 4 runs on 3 hits, including a 2-run homer in the Lions' win. Sung Bum Na hit 2 3-run homers in the Tigers' blowout win. Saturday, Twins got a walk-off homer from 22-year-old third baseman Bo Kyung Moon to top the Wiz 8-7. Giants got their first win of the week 9-8 over the Lions. Eagles hammered the Bears 11-1. Landers over Tigers 7-5, and the Heroes and Dinos ended in a 3-3 tie. Sunday, 3 games rained out. Giants and Lions tied at 5, and the Landers became the day's only winner, holding off the Tigers for a 3-2 win to take the series. KBO standings, no changes in the top 5. Landers' lead grows to 7 games over the second-place Heroes, 8 games over the 3rd-place Twins. 4th-place Wiz are very slowly gaining ground on the Twins and distancing themselves from the 5th-place Tigers. Now 5.5 behind the Twins, 2.5 ahead of the Tigers. Those are the 5 playoff teams as of right now. And the race for the last playoff spot. Not much of a race, really. Bears are the new 6th-place team, leaping over the Giants last week, but they trail the Tigers by 6. Giants are 7.5 out and falling fast. Dinos moved past the Lions for 8th place. They've looked good lately, but are 8.5 out in the playoff race. This week in the KBO, Tuesday to Thursday, Tigers at Eagles, Wiz at Dinos, Twins at Giants, 1st place Landers at 2nd place Heroes, and Lions at Bears. On the weekend, Eagles at Wiz, Dinos at Giants, Bears at Tigers, a chance for the Bears to gain some ground there. Lions at Landers, and the 2nd place Heroes visit the 3rd place Twins. A tough week for the Heroes. All-Star Weekend in Taiwan, the first since 2019, as all the best players from the CPBL's 5 teams gathered for a 2-game series. But before that could happen, there was still some regular season baseball to be played during the week. Before I get to that, a little news around the league. The Guardians will be without Che-Xuan Lin probably for the rest of the season. He is out with a shoulder injury. The 33-year-old outfielder had a .321 on-base percentage in 38 games this year. And they've released pitcher Jose Valdez. He ends the season with a .417 ERA in 8 starts. Valdez first joined the CPBL late last season and helped the brothers to their Taiwan Series title. And the Rakuten Monkeys have signed 28-year-old right-handed pitcher Ricardo Pinto for the remainder of the season. This year at AAA Toledo, Pinto had a .358 ERA and 20 relief appearances. He previously played at the big league level for the Phillies and Rays, and in the KBO with the SK Wyverns. Last Tuesday, the first-half champion Monkeys stayed unbeaten in the second half, winning 3-1 over the Lions. Ryan Bollinger held the Lions to 1 run in 7 innings to earn the win. Brothers over the Guardians 2-1. Kai Wen Cheng tossed 7 innings and allowed only 1. Wednesday, Monkeys over Lions again, 6-3. Lions remained winless in the second half. Brothers and Dragons finished in a 6-6 tie after 12 innings. Thursday, Monkeys suffered their first loss of the second half, 10-6 to the Guardians. Kuo Chen Fan had 2 hits, a home run, 2 batted in, and 2 runs scored. Dragons took care of the Brothers 9-4. Chi Sheng Lin was 4 out of 5 with a home run and 3 batted in. Second half standings heading into the All-Star break, Monkeys lead the way at 4-1. Guardians half a game behind at 3-1. Brothers 1.5 back, Dragons 2 back. Lions are off to a rough start at 0-4. Overall standings, Monkeys hold a 6-game lead over the second-place Brothers. Dragons are now third, leaping past the Lions. Guardians, of course, are still in last. They'll need to win the second half to reach the playoffs. The 2-game AllStar Series took place on the weekend, where Team Taiwan, or Chinese Taipei, whatever you want to call them, took on a team of CPBL All-Stars in front of over 15,000 fans at Taichung Stadium. Saturday, the CPBL All-Stars were 3-1 winners. MVP went to Guardian shortstop Sheng Wei Wang, who singled and tripled in the game. The second game on Sunday also went to the CPBL All-Stars. 3-2 was the final. MVP was Dragons first baseman Xiang Lin Chu. He hit the go-ahead solo home run in the 8th. Regular season action returns on Tuesday. Dragons visit the Lions and the first-place Monkeys visit the second-place Guardians. Last week of the regular season in Mexico. Playoffs start next week. We know which teams will be in the playoffs, but the battle for position will go into the final day. In the north, Toros de Tijuana keep a slim lead at the top. Tecolotes, at 1 game back, still have a chance to regain the top spot. Monclova just moved into third a week ago, and it looks like they'll get the number 3 seed. Monterrey will probably have to settle for 4th. Laguna could still sneak into the top 4. They're 2 games behind Monterrey. Aguascalientes hold the 6th and final playoff spot. They haven't clinched it yet, but they've got a 4-game lead heading into the final week. In the south, the fight over the top seed is even closer, with Diablos Rojos holding a half-game lead over Pericos. Tabasco is 3 games out, probably won't be able to regain the top spot, but are in a good position to get the number 3 seed. They are being followed closely by Quintana Roo. They are 2 games behind Tabasco. Yucatan is a half game behind Quintana Roo. They can easily move into the top 4. Veracruz hold the last spot. At 2 games behind Yucatan, they can move up if they have a good week. This week, a lot of series that will be big for the playoff race. Tuesday to Thursday, Aguascalientes at Monclova, Monterrey at Laguna, Veracruz at Yucatan, and Quintana Roo at Puebla. On the weekend, Aguascalientes at Dos Laredos, Veracruz at Quintana Roo, Puebla at Tabasco, and Tijuana at Laguna. In Germany, the last quarterfinal series ended last week while the first semifinal series got started. On Saturday, the Bonn Capitals defeated the Heidenheim Heidekipp 7-3 in Game 1 of their semifinal matchup, a rematch of last year's championship series. Later on, the Munich Haar Disciples pounded Paderborn 11-0 to even their series at 2 apiece and force a Game 5. On Sunday, Paderborn brushed off that lopsided defeat and came out on top in the final game 5-2 to advance to the semis. In the other game, Heidenheim got a 3-run homer in the top of the 14th inning to get past Bonn and even the series at 1 apiece. The game lasted 4 hours and 15 minutes. This Saturday, Paderborn visits Regensburg for Game 1 of their semifinal matchup, while Bonn and Heidenheim meet for Game 3. On Sunday, same matchups, plus Bonn and Heidenheim will meet one more time late in the day for Game 5 if necessary. So by this time next week, 1 semifinal series will still be going, and 1 team will have earned their place in the finals. Semifinals in Czech Extraliga got started over the weekend, both series involving a team from Prague and a team from Brno. Here's what happened. Game 1 on Friday, Tempo Praha got past Hrozy Brno 3-2. Top-seeded Draci Brno took care of Eagles Praha 6-2. Saturday, Draci managed to hang on for a 9-8 win over Eagles to go up 2-0 in the best-of-5 series. Sunday, Hrozy shut out Tempo 2-0 to even up the series at 1. Eagles outslugged Draci to save their season for another week. Hrozy beat Tempo again 5-3 to sweep the doubleheader and go up 2-1 in the series. Eagles and Draci Game 4 is this Friday. If necessary, Game 5 will be early on Saturday. Hrozy and Tempo will play Game 4 around that same time on Saturday. Game 5, if necessary, will be on Sunday afternoon. And by this time next week, we'll have our 2 teams for the Czech series. In the Italian League, just a little of the 8-team round-robin postseason left and we'll be ready to start the semis. Group A leader San Marino was upset once by Nettuno over the weekend but won the series 2-1. Parma swept their series and now trail the leader by a half game. Those will be the two semi-finalists out of Group A, but the top seed is still up for grabs. Unipolsai Fortitudo Bologna and BBC Grosseto swept their series over the weekend. Those are the two semi-finalists out of Group B, in that order. In the Netherlands, they are just about done with the 4-team winners stage round robin. Amsterdam remains at the top after splitting with Twins, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie. Neptunus won twice over HCAW with 1 tie. Those two are now tied once again with 27 points each. This weekend it's Neptunus at Twins and HCAW at Amsterdam. And that is all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.